Good morning, I'm Judge Amy Carter. This is Courtroom 1, Session 1. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Good morning, Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Joseph Lindsay for the defense.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Carl Wilson.
Good morning, Mr. Wilson. I don't have Mr. Wilson's face sheet. Do you have one right there for me? Thank you so much. Mr. Wilson, are you living at Safe Haven at Maxwell Gardens?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is case number 19 CF 5742. Sir, you were arrested for tampering with physical evidence, possession of drug paraphernalia, and soliciting without a permit. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And sir, at this time, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. You
Okay.
need to stay in touch with the public defender's office and make sure that the clerk of the court has an updated address for you so that you get notice of your court dates.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Gary Smith.
Mr. Smith, this is case number 19MO739. You were arrested for camping. I do find probable cause. Did you want a lawyer to help you with your case this morning, sir?
With camping.
Yes. Did you want a lawyer, or do you want to see what the state's offer is?
What is the state offering, ma'am?
Ms. Bush, is there an offer for Mr. Smith?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication, 4 days, 2 days credit time served.
Did you hear that, Mr. Smith?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Would you like to accept the offer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Please sign the plea form. Morning. Thank you. Mr. Smith, did you read this plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, I do, but I'm a citizen, ma'am.
Okay. Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court this morning?
No, ma'am.
Sir, I will accept your plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You'll need to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by April 30th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Alberta Weaver.
Mr. Weaver, this is case number 19MO741. You were arrested for being in a park after hours. I do find probable cause, sir. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Is there an offer for Mr. Weaver?
Yes, Your Honor, there was. It's an adjudication, 4 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served.
You'd like to accept that, Mr. Weaver?
Yes, you would like to accept that offer, Your Honor.
All right, sir, just sign the plea form, please. Mr. Weaver, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights you're giving up?
No,
Sir, are you on probation?
no, ain't no probation.
Pardon me?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court this morning?
No, ma'am.
I'll accept your plea, sir. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You'll also have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by April 30th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
All right.
Sir, and then in case number 18 CF 8061, I will take no action at this time. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Oh, Yerby, ma'am.
Mr. Yerby, this is case number 19MO742. You were arrested for open container. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Is there an offer for Mr. Yerby?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe the offer was adjudication of guilt, 3 days with credit for 2,
Okay.
and Mr. Yerby would like to accept that offer.
All right. Just need the plea form. Thank you. Mr. Yerby, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving
No,
up?
ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court this morning?
No, ma'am.
I'll accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You also have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by April 30th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. All right? Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Gene Antoine.
Mr. Antoine, this is case number 19MM3394. You were arrested for petty theft. I do find probable cause. Did you want a lawyer to help you with your case this morning?
No contest.
Ms. Bush, is there an offer for Mr. Anton?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication, 5 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, no return to the Walmart at 5734 South Orange Blossom Trail. Abide by trespass warnings and court costs.
Okay. Did you hear that, Mr. Anton?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
No contest.
Thank you. Sir, did you read the plea form before you signed it? This form here? Is that yes? Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up on this form? Mr. Anton, I just need you to answer out loud for me, okay? Verbally. Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up on the form?
No contest.
Okay, Mr. Anton, I want you to listen to my question before you answer, okay? I know that you want to plead no contest, but I'm asking you if you have any questions about any of the rights on this form.
No contest.
Mr. Lindsay, would you maybe want to speak with him for a moment?
Certainly.
Okay. I don't think my face sheets are in the right order. Yeah. Mm-mm. I found it. Hmm? Oh, this way. Right. Okay, Mr. Anton, I want to ask you again, if you read this form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions about any of the rights on this form?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court this morning?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And do you have any questions about anything at all this morning?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Anton, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You can't return to the Walmart at 5734 South Orange Blossom Trail. You need to abide by any trespass warnings. You'll also have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by April 30th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing, sir. All right? Thank you, sir. Now we're back to normal. Here we go. Oh, okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
There we go. This is case number 19 CF 5755. Good morning. Are you Mr. Rojas? Good morning, sir. You were arrested, sir, pursuant to a warrant or probable cause was previously found for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of ammunition by a convicted felon, use of a firearm or weapon in the commission of a felony, and open carry of a weapon, sir. You're represented here by counsel this morning.
And for the record, Your Honor, I'm Attorney Merrill Glover Gambles.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Rojas had been previously arrested in the same case. For some reason, an out-on-bond hold was placed on him. It should not have been.
Okay.
They're just add-on charges. It's not a new situation.
Okay, I was wondering about that. I actually had it flagged because I saw the offense date is the same as the out on bond form.
And Your Honor, that the state concurs that it is the same event, and it was an ongoing investigation, and these are add-on.
Okay. So at this time, I'll just set the bond on the new offenses that came in on the warrant. Sir, you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms while you're out on bond. And as these are additional add-on offenses, I'm going to treat them as subsidiary offenses
Yes,
in terms of the bond.
yes.
So count one, the bond is gonna be $150. Count two will be $150. Count three will be $150, and count four will be $100.
And thank you very much, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. Or, thank you, yes. why they're over here, yeah. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Good morning, Your Honor. Maria Alvarez.
Ms. Alvarez, you're here in case number 19 CF 5733. You were arrested for grand theft third degree. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond is going to be $1,000. You are not to return, ma'am, to 8200 Vinland Road, which is the premium outlets. And in case number 19 CF 1089, I'm going to revoke your bond at this time, and that will be set at none.
And she was also on PTR for another case, Your Honor, as well. Would that be revoked too?
And which?
It was added right before court.
Is it the 1108?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor, in this matter, I would request that the court consider the fact that Ms. Alvarez has 5 children who she takes care of, the fact that they are currently without her care in the community. Would request that the court reconsider and set bond or leave bond in the case 2019 CF 108980.
That request will be denied at this time.
Would the court consider setting the bond in this case at $500?
No. Thank you. No, I'm revoking these. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Krista Amel.
Miss Amel, this is case number 19 CT 3084 and 19 CF 5739, ma'am. You were arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of morphine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and permitting unauthorized operation to drive. I do find probable cause for the offenses. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, ma'am. And at this time, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. In each case, you need to make sure that the public defender's office has your contact information, and so does the clerk of the court, so that you get notice of your court dates, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor.
Yep. Good morning, Mr. Coleman. Mr. Coleman, this is case number 18 CF 16262. You failed to appear for pretrial conference on March 20th of this year, sir. Your bond in that matter is currently set at none. And in 18 CF 17642, I'll take no action. Did you have the public defender's office, sir, on the other case? Okay. They'll be in contact with you, sir. Thank you. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Shannon Kemp, Lee Courtney.
Mr. Courtney, this is case number 18 CF 15297, sir. You were indicted for first-degree murder with a firearm. I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you, and your bond is currently set at none. Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Richard Virgil Crumlish Jr.
Mr. Crumlish, you are here in case number 19 CF 5740. You were arrested for possession of tetrahydrocannabis. I do find probable cause for that offense. You were also here in case number 19 CT 3085. You were arrested for driving while license suspended. I also find probable cause for that offense, sir, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you. I'm going to set your bond on 19 CF 5740 at $500 and 19 CT 3085 at $100 and 18 CF 16860. I'll take no action. Thank you, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
I'm Chastity Eller.
Ms. Eller, this is case number 19 CF 5721. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine. I find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Your bond is $500. In case number 19 CF 5211, I'll take no action. Thank you, ma'am.
Could we be appointed in that case as well, Your Honor?
On the auto bond case?
Yes, Your
Yes.
Honor. Thank you.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Evans, this is case number 18 CF 12157. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause capias for the offenses of grand theft, third degree, dealing in stolen property, receiving money from pawnbroker by false verification or ownership, dealing in stolen property, another count of receiving money from a pawnbroker by false verification or ownership, dealing in stolen property, and again, receiving money from a pawnbroker by false verification or ownership. I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your bond on counts 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is $100, and your bond on count 2 is $2,500. Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Robert Gillard.
Mr. Gillard, this is case number 19 CF 5734, sir. You were arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond on count 1 will be $500. Your bond on count 2 will be $100. And 19 CF 4116, I'll take no action. Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Philip Holmes.
Pardon me?
Philip Holmes.
Mr. Holmes. What about Mr. Gonzalez? Okay. Good morning, Mr. Holmes. This is case number 19 CF 5727. You were arrested for grand theft of a motor vehicle and possession of heroin. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000 and your bond on count 2 is $150. Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Calvin Jackson.
Mr. Jackson, this is case number 19 CF 5112. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause capias for the offense of aggravated child abuse. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact directly with the victim or any witnesses. You're to maintain a separate residence from the alleged victim. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol, illegal drugs, or controlled substances without a valid prescription. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms, and you're not to have any, contact with the alleged victim. And at this time, sir, your bond will be $15,000. Thank you.
Your Honor, in this matter, would the court consider a bond of $7,500? Mr. Jackson works in food service. He financially, he would not be able to likely afford a bond of $15,000. Would the court consider $7,500?
Not at this time, no. Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Burnett Knight.
Ms. Knight, this is case number 19 CF 2868. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for the offenses of grand theft third degree, conspiracy to commit grand theft, use of an anti-shoplifting control device, possession of an anti-shoplifting inventory control device, and resisting a merchant. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $2,500. Your bond on count 2 is $1,500. Your bond on count 3 is $100. Your bond on count 4, $1,000. Your bond on count 4 is $1,000. Your bond on count 5 is $500. You're also not to return to the outlet mall, ma'am, the premium outlet malls, and you're not to have any contact with your co-defendant. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Are you Mr. Matthews?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Mr. Matthews, this is case number 19 CF 5732. And case number 19 CT 425. In that matter, you were arrested for driving under the influence as well as possession of cocaine, possession of alazapram, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you, sir, and at this time, I'm going to order pretrial release. Okay, thank you. Good morning, are you Mr. Powell?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Powell, this is case number 18 CF 11101. You failed to appear on February 18th for sentencing.
I was supposed to take a plea.
Your bond is currently set at none, sir. Is the public defender office appointed? So you're represented by the Office of the Public Defender, and they'll be in contact with you regarding your court date, okay? Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Danny Robinson.
Mr. Robinson, this is case number 19 CF 5686. You were arrested for burglary of a structure, possession of burglary tools, criminal mischief, and grand theft third degree. I do find probable cause, and I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You also have case number 19 CF 5685, where you were arrested for battery on a law enforcement officer. I do find probable cause for that offense as well, sir. And the Public Defender's Office will be appointed on both cases. Your bond on count 1 in 19 CF 5686 is $3,500. Count 2, $150, count 3, $100, count 4, $150. And in 19 CF 5685, your bond will be $500. Thank you, sir.
And Your Honor, in 5686, may we have a no return to the scene?
Yes, sir. You're not allowed to return to the Celtronics at 68704 City Road. Thank you. The Batleo, yeah. Good morning, your name?
Jamar Size.
Mr. Size, this is case number 19 CF 5725. You were arrested for grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle, possession of heroin, burglary to an unoccupied structure, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I find probable cause. I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your bond on count 1 will be $2,500. Your bond on count 2, $150. Your bond on count 3, $150, and your bond on count 4, $100. Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Scott Sanders.
Mr. Sanders, this is case number 19 CF 3821. You were arrested for petty theft with 2 prior convictions pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found. I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not allowed to return to 3355 Vinland Road, which is the 7-Eleven. And your bond is $500, sir. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
My name
name is Eric Kevin Smith Reyes.
Mr. Smith Reyes, this is case number 18 CF 1564. You were arrested pursuant to a probable cause capias for the offenses of burglary of a dwelling, grand theft third degree, and criminal mischief. You are not to have any contact with the victim in this matter, and you're not to return to the scene. That would be Alicia Hart and 5010 Rosamond Drive. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is $5,000, your bond on count 2 is $150, and your bond on count 3 is $100. Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Keith Sowers.
Mr. Sowers, this is case number 19 CF 5738. You were arrested for fleeing and attempting to elude. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. We also have case number 19 CF 5736, driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions. I do find probable cause for that offense. Your bond in that matter is $2,500, and I'll also appoint the public defender in that case. And in 19 CF 5738, your bond will be $7,500.
I got a bond on both of them.
Yes, sir. On the first one and $2,500 on the second.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I don't have the second sheet for Mr. Taylor. There's just no information?
Yeah. It shows up in the folder.
Because why?
It shows up in the folder in the computer, when you screen it, so I think that's why. I'm looking at it now.
Okay. Oh, because of the hold, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, our computer shows up in the folder,
Okay,
so I don't think our person copied it to the screen.
okay. Good morning, are you Mr. Taylor?
Hey, how you doing?
Mr. Taylor, this is case number 17 CF 6679. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for the offense of burglary of a dwelling and grand theft third degree. I will appoint the public defender's office. So you didn't fill out an affidavit. Are you planning on hiring your own lawyer, or do you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
I have an attorney on this case.
Okay, great. Sir, on count 1, your bond is $10,000. On count 2, your bond is $150. And then you also have case number 17 CF 5227. In that case, you failed to appear. For pretrial conference on November 28th of 2017, your bond in that matter at this time is set at none. All right?
It's, that's the misdemeanor, right?
No, it's for, you failed to appear for pretrial conference. It's 17 CF 5227. It was for 2 counts of burglary of a dwelling, petty theft of $100 or more, and criminal mischief.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, so you need to get in contact with your attorney,
Mhm.
and then they can assist you from there, sir.
Thank
All right, thank you. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Patrick Tews.
Mr. Tews, this is case number 19 CF 5384. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found. You were arrested for attempted homicide, aggravated assault with a firearm, and criminal mischief. Sir, were you going to hire an attorney, or do you want to see if you qualify for the public defender? You didn't
I have
fill
an
out
attorney.
You have an attorney? Okay. Ms. Bush, did you want to be heard with respect to bond on count 1? I think it's a first-degree felony, not punishable by life.
Your Honor, I may have just one moment. I'm showing it as a second degree because it was not charged with a firearm. The firearm would have bumped it. If I may have just one moment.
Sure.
Your Honor, I'm showing it as the attempted homicide without a weapon as an F2.
Okay. Did you want to be heard with respect to the bond amount?
With respect to the bond amount, yes, Your Honor, the state would ask the court to set bond in the amount of $100,000 as to count 1, treat counts 2 and 3 as subsidiaries.
Okay. Mr. Tews, I know that you said that you have a lawyer on this case, but they're not here today. Do you want me to appoint the public defender for purposes of this hearing, or do you want to proceed with the hearing now, or do you want me to reset your case for tomorrow?
I want to reset for tomorrow.
To have your lawyer present?
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll do that, sir.
Okay, I
So at
appreciate
this
it.
time, your bond will remain at none on counts 1 and 2.
Can you repeat that?
Your bond is set at none on counts 1 and 2. And then it's at 1,000 on count 3, and we'll do your initial appearance tomorrow morning with your lawyer.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
My name is Deborah Sikos.
Ma'am, this is case number 19MO736. You were arrested for disorderly conduct and soliciting, ma'am, without a
Who
permit.
is trespassed, ma'am?
Well, that's not what I have here. We have,
Okay, well, whoever put that on there didn't put it on there right.
okay, ma'am. I do find probable cause for those offenses. Did you want a lawyer to help you with your case this morning?
No.
No? Okay. Ms. Bush, is there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication of guilt, 5 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served. And I'm looking to see if there's, and no return to the Parkwood Plaza.
Okay. Ma'am, did you hear the offer from the state?
Okay.
No, did you hear what she said?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you want to accept that offer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I need you to sign the plea form, please. Thank you. Ma'am, did you read this plea form before you signed it? I have to have you answer out loud, please.
Yes, ma'am, I
Oh,
have.
thank you. Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up on the form?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Okay.
Okay. Ma'am, have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court this morning?
No.
Okay. I will accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days.
Why so long, ma'am?
Pardon me?
I said, why is so long?
Well, that's the offer from the state. That's what she's deemed to be appropriate. Ma'am, you're gonna also have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid.
I don't have any money.
Well, let me just finish what I'm telling you, and then I'll explain something else, okay? Just give me a second. So you'll have to pay your court costs by April 30th of 2020. If you cannot pay and you don't have any money, you have to go down to the clerk's office and let them know. All right? Thank you,
I
ma'am.
don't have any money. I don't have a job.
I understand. Thank you, ma'am. Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
You Mr. Ewing?
Yes, ma'am.
This is case number 19MO737. You were arrested for open container. I do find probable cause. Is there an offer for Mr. Ewing?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication of guilt, 4 days, 2 days credit time served.
Mr. Ewing, did you want to accept that offer?
I didn't hear her.
It's 4 days in the county jail with 2 days time served.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just sign the plea form, please. Mr. Ewing, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up on the form?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
I'll accept your plea, sir. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days time served. You'll also have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by April 30th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Are you Mr. Gooden?
Yes, ma'am.
This is case number 19MO738. You were arrested for open container. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there an offer for Mr. Gooden?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication of guilt, 4 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served.
Mr. Gooden, did you want to accept that offer?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to accept the offer.
If you'd like to accept that offer, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Lindsay. Mr. Gooden, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up on the form?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court this morning?
No, ma'am.
Sir, I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days time served. You'll have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by April 30th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Thank you, sir.
And he was out on bond, Your Honor? Taking
Yes,
any action?
19 CF 3794, I will take no action. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. Are you Miss Walters?
Yes.
This is case number 19MO740. You were arrested for camping. I do find probable cause and will appoint the public defender. Is there an offer for Miss Walters?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 4 days, Orange County Jail, 2 days, credit time served.
Thank you, Your Honor. She would like to accept that offer.
Okay. Thank you. Miss Walters, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up on the form?
No.
No? Are you on probation, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you are not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation? Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
I will accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You'll also have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by April 30th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. Thank you, ma'am. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Michael Green?
Mr. Green?
Yes, ma'am.
You are here in case number 19MM3395. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of cannabis greater than 20 grams. I do find probable cause. Sir, your affidavit that you filled out states that you make $500 per week. Is that correct?
Ma'am?
Your affidavit, your application for the public defender states that you make $500 per week. Is that
Close.
correct?
Close to that.
And that's after taxes?
No.
Okay,
That's correct.
what's your take-home pay?
Maybe like almost 4.
Okay, so what if it's about $395?
Yeah. Yes,
And do
ma'am.
you have any dependents?
Yes,
Any,
my kids,
how many?
I have 4.
Okay. Sir, I'm gonna just make the corrections here on your affidavit, and based upon this information, I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you in this matter. Ms. Bush, is there an offer for Mr. Green?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 5 days, 2 days, credit time served. And I apologize, Your Honor, statutory 1-year driver's license suspension.
Yes. Mr. Green, are you on probation? Are you on probation?
Yes,
Yes,
Your
but
Honor.
I have a,
Your- Your Honor, at this time, Mr. Green will not be accepting the offer. Would the court consider releasing him on his own recognizance in this matter? As he stated, he takes care of his children. He has to get out and work to do that.
oh, just comes to work.
And we'd just request the court take that into consideration and possibly set his, release him on his own recognizance in this matter.
No, not at this time. I think he's 4 prior failures to appear, so I'm not willing to do that, but, I will set his bond at $250 on count 2 and $100 on count 1. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. We'll reset Ms. Bass. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Fred Hayward.
Mr. Haywood, this is case number 19MM192. It looks like you were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia and resisting officer without violence. I do not find probable cause on count 1. There is probable cause for count 2.
And Your Honor, may I have that case number again?
Sure, it's 19MM192. It's a Witter Park case, so I think it's AE. What's in Odyssey is what I have in front of me. It just simply says that after the pat-down was completed, Williams was taken into custody for possession of drug paraphernalia. So based on that information, I don't find that there is probable cause for possession of drug paraphernalia. If you don't have the report, Ms. Bush, you're welcome to come take a look at it at the bench.
Your Honor, when I got the case number, because I had no report before me, but the state's not making any request as to.
Okay. So, as to count one, Mr. Haywood, you will be released ROR. And on count two, your bond will be $500. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, are we appointed on this case?
Yes. Good morning, your name?
Good morning, Your Honor. Christopher Leone.
Mr. Leone, this is case number 19MM396. You were arrested for trespass in an occupied structure. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you, sir. Is there an offer for Mr. Leone?
No, Your Honor, as this is a private residence, I would need to speak with the.
Okay. Mr. Leone, at this time, your bond is $500. You're not to return to 607 Banderas Avenue. And I will appoint the Public Defender's Office. Thank
Okay.
you. All right, we'll reset. Ms. Bush, is there gonna be an offer related, or, relayed to Mr. Matthews?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll reset Mr. Matthews' case. Sir, good, morning, are you Mr. Moore?
Yes, ma'am.
This is case number 19MM3376. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. I find probable cause. Did you want a lawyer to help you with your case this morning, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Bush, is there an offer for Mr. Moore?
Yes, it's an adjudication of guilt, 5 days, 2 days credit time served, no return to the 7-Eleven at 5281 South John Young Parkway. Abide by all trespass warnings.
Okay. You want to accept that, Mr. Moore?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Moore, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up on the form?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court this morning?
No, ma'am.
Sir, I'm going to accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You'll have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by April 30th of 2020.
Yes,
And you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, your name?
Michael Nieves Cruz.
Mr. Nieves Cruz, this is case number 19MM395. You were arrested for petty theft. I do find probable cause. Did you want a lawyer to help you with your case this morning, sir?
I'm all right.
Excuse me?
If he wants to help me, he could help me. I'm all right.
Okay. Well, I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you based upon the charge, sir. Ms. Bush, is there an offer for Mr. Nieves Cruz?
Yes, Your Honor. It's a 15 days Orange County Jail, 2 days credit time served, no return to the scene, and abide by all trespass warnings.
Okay.
It appears that everything was recovered.
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, at this time, would you consider an offer from the bench in this case?
Can I say something?
I wouldn't, sir. I would talk to your lawyer first, okay?
And Your Honor, the state would just put on the record that that was taken, that offer was given, taking into account that he's also out on release and bond.
Yeah, at this time, Ms. Jones, I don't think that the offer is unreasonable, given the history and the fact that he's out on bond. And he has a bond. The bond's $250, so. Mr. Cruz, what would you like to do? I didn't hear you. All right, so I'm just gonna leave the bond set at $250. I don't wanna make him feel like he has to enter a plea, so thank you, sir.
Take any action?
No, not gonna take any action on the out on bond case. Good morning. Are you Ms. Raymond?
Yes, ma'am.
You're here in case number 19MM3397.
Yes,
You were
ma'am.
arrested for petty theft. I find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. At this time, ma'am, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. Okay? So you're gonna need to make sure that your address is updated with your attorney's office and with the clerk of the court so that you get notice of your court dates.
Okay, thank
All right?
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. Are you Mr. Shakur?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes.
This is case number 19MM3383. You were arrested for providing false ID to law enforcement. I do find probable cause. And I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You also have an out-of-county warrant from Broward County, sir, for fraudulent use of a credit card. Your bond in that matter is set at none, and Broward County will come pick you up and you'll see a judge at initial appearance when you get there. You also have an on-view violation of probation related to this new law offense. I do find probable cause for that, and I will set that bond at none as well. Is there an offer in the providing false ID to law enforcement?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, yeah, he's on probation. Okay, sir, your bond is $500. Thank you. I got there.
Your Honor, for the providing false ID to law enforcement, the bond was set at
500.
500?
So if he posts that, then Broward County will come pick him up. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Gregory Carson.
Tell me your name again.
Gregory Carson.
Mr. Carson, you are here for an out-of-county warrant from Seminole County. This is for a violation of probation related to a burglary of an unoccupied structure. Your bond is $7,500. If you're unable to post that bond, Seminole County will come pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there. All right?
All right.
Thank you, sir. How about Henry Gonzalez and looks like, I think Mr. Torres Rodriguez is Spanish.
George Rodriguez is Spanish. Do you have any number for Gonzalez?
I do. 190-12126. It says English on the form, but it could not be right.
He's on Spanish list.
Okay. Good morning, your name?
Marcus Anthony Mincy.
Christina Cruz is mental health worker.
Okay, we'll reset Ms. Cruz. And Mr., oh, go ahead.
Mr. Lewis is also mental health worker.
Okay. Mr. Lindsay, I'm gonna appoint your office on Mr. Lewis's case. Do you wanna just waive his appearance and I'll set the bonds?
Yes, please.
Okay, and that's case number 19 CF 5670. He was arrested for possession of fentanyl, destruction of evidence, possession of a controlled substance, resisting officer without violence, and resisting officer without violence. I find probable cause. Bond on count 1 is $1,000, bond on count 2 and 3 is $150, bond on count 4 and count 5 is $100, and the public defender is appointed. I'm sorry, Mr. Mincy. Thank you for waiting.
No problem, ma'am.
You're here in case number 19 CF 5664. You were arrested for driving while license suspended or revoked as a habitual offender. I do find probable cause for that offense. And at this time, sir, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. You're gonna need to make sure that you keep in touch with your attorney, that they have your correct contact information, as well as the clerk of the court, so that you get notification of your court dates and you don't miss court.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
And, Your Honor, Did the court appoint the public defender in this matter?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. If I didn't say that before, sir, the Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you.
Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good one.
Your Honor, in the case of Christina Cruz, could we be appointed on that case as well?
I don't think I did yet, I just reset it.
Okay. Could we be appointed?
Sure. We'll appoint a public defender on Ms. Cruz's case. These are just all 33 days. Okay. Then, Ms. Bush, do you just want to let me know when you're ready on 33 day?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure.
Yes.
I'll take these to copy. Wasn't there another one? Oh, there is two. Okay.
Your Honor, the state's ready.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
And with regard to the add-on docket, the state would ask if we could call that at the beginning of session 2. Toriano Herman.
Okay.
2 cases. I see that informations have been generated, I just don't have confirmation yet.
This is 19 CF 4015 Sheldrick Singleton.
Your Honor, this is another one where the information has been filed. I just received an email from the prosecutor that says that the information was taken to the clerk's office on 4/22. I do not have confirmation if we could reset this for second session as well.
Okay. 18 CF 18317 Michael Davis.
And information was filed. Filing ID is 88346020.
That'll be denied. 19 CF 3872 Antoine Atkins.
A notice of non-filing on April 22nd.
That motion will be granted. 19 CF 4002 Joel Amy.
And information was filed. Filing ID is 88336935.
That will be denied. 19 CF 4001 Jermaine Blanchard.
A notice of non-filing on April 22nd.
That'll be granted. 19 MM 197 James Miller Jr.
A notice of non-filing on April 22nd.
That will be granted. 19 CF 4052 Rodolfo Rico.
The prosecutor says that the 33rd day is not until April 25th, 2019. The state would ask the court to not make a decision until the 33rd day.
We could revisit this one as well this afternoon.
This afternoon to take a look at it? Okay,
Thank you.
that's fine. In the 19 CF 2214 Milton Gonzalez.
A no information notice was filed on April 22nd.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 4064 Willard Norick.
An information was filed. Filing ID is 88319503.
That'll be denied. 19 CF 3996 Timothy Stovall.
An information was filed. Filing ID is 88319503.
That'll be denied. 19 MM 2273 Ronald King.
A no information was filed on April 22nd.
That motion will be granted. 19 CF 3859 Kenny Young.
An information was filed. Filing ID is 88320112.
That'll be denied. 19 CF 3810 Shauna Ball.
A request for administrative transfer and misdemeanor information was filed. A clocked-in copy was provided to defense counsel.
Okay, that'll be denied. 19 CF 3935 Angel Rodriguez.
A no information notice on April 22nd.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 3948 Nasheed Harper.
for administrative transfer was made. I do not have clocked in copies. If we could reset this to second session.
Yes. 19 CF 3351 James Crum.
And information was filed. Filing ID is 88303500.
That'll be denied. 19 CF 3522 Robert Fuentes.
And information was filed. Filing ID is 88319764.
That'll be denied. 19 MM 2466 Zachary Kane.
And information was filed. Filing ID is 88319952.
That'll be denied. Okay, then we'll just keep these here for the afternoon. And then I
Thank
believe
you.
that's everything, so we'll be in recess. Good afternoon, I'm Judge Amy Carter. This is Courtroom 1, Session 2. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Good afternoon. Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
All right,
And Manuel Soto Diaz for the Office of the Public Defender.
thank you. Good afternoon, your name?
Ryan Ahern.
Mr. Aaron, this is case number 19 CF 5751. You were arrested for possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver and possession of cannabis greater than 20 grams. I find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000 and your bond on count 2 is $150. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Gerald Anderson, bonding, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Anderson. Good afternoon, are you Mr. Blair?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is case number 19 CF 5753. You were arrested for driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions in possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for the driving while license suspended and the possession of drug paraphernalia. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond on count 1, sir, is going to be $1,000. Your bond on count 2 will be $100, excuse me. And then case number 18 CF 18118, I'll take no action at this time, sir. Thank you. Did I take it up? Oh, sorry about that. Nope, I took it. Good afternoon, are you Mr. Bowling?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is case number 19 CF 5696. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for failing to report. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. Your bond is $2,500. And you do have reporting requirements. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Torrey Brown, body, Your Honor.
Okay. You, Mr. Gordon?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is case number 19 CF 5503. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for the offense of grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle. Were you gonna hire your own lawyer, or do you wanna see if you qualify for the public defender?
I refuse to call the public
Excuse me?
defender. I choose to represent myself, Your Honor.
Okay, they'll have a hearing regarding that at a later date, sir. Is there any information on Mr. Gordon for his face sheet? I don't see anything about his history or his failures to appear.
It might have been updated.
Oh, thank you. All right, sir, your bond at this time is gonna be $1,000.
All right, excuse me, Your Honor, is there any way I can get a bond reduction?
I just did.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. Your name?
Yes. Deja Martinez. Sorry about that.
Ms. Martinez, this is case number 19 CF 5752. You were arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm gonna set your bond at $500 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Keith McCray.
Mr. McCray, this is case number 19 CF 5747. You were arrested for aggravated battery. I find probable cause and will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir. And at this time, your bond is $3,500. Thank you.
And Your Honor, may we have a no return to the scene and no contact with the victim?
Yes, sir. You are, actually, I'm gonna order that you're to maintain a separate residence from Brian Rock, and you're not to have any contact with Brian Rock.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Would it be possible for me to get a bond reduction?
He's telling me he can probably contribute $250 to pay the premium on the bond. So he's hoping the court would lower it maybe to $2,500.
Where do you work, Mr. McCray?
Gringos Locos.
Where?
Gringos Locos. It's a restaurant.
I know where it is. How long have you worked there?
Just a couple months. I haven't been there long.
I'll reduce your bond to $2,500, Mr. McCray.
Thank you.
To the judge.
Clinton Mervin. I have a paid lawyer, but he's not here right now.
Want to continue?
Mr. Mervin, you are here in a few cases. You have case number 16 CF 3895. This is for a violation of community control, sir. It's alleged that you did not make a full and truthful report to your probation officer by stating that you did not have contact with law enforcement on September 21st of 2018. You also were away from your approved residence without permission. You also have case number 15 CF 13283. It's a violation of community control with the same allegations as previously stated. Also, case number 16 CF 3897 is a violation of community control, alleging the same allegations of not making a full and truthful report to your probation officer regarding contact with law enforcement and not being home when you were supposed to be. You also have 15 CF 16870 and 15 CF 16871, alleging violations of community control with the same violation that were previously alleged. Your bond in each of the cases at this time is set at 0, okay? So you need to get in contact with your attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. Good afternoon. Are you Mr. Ricketts?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Sir, this is case number 19 CF 5748. You were arrested for driving while license suspended. I do find probable cause.
Your Honor, would you consider ROR release for Mr. Ricketts? And I ask, given the circumstances of his arrest, without having Mr. Ricketts offer anything by way of what he understood about the law and whether or not he was driving. It's a common misconception that you don't need a license to drive a scooter. It's unfortunate, but we see too many cases where somebody's arrested or driving while license suspended when they have a erroneous but not completely unfounded belief that they don't need a license.
I'm going to appoint the public defender. I'll release you ROR. Mr. Ricketts, you need to make sure that your contact information is current with the clerk of the court and with your attorney's office. That way you get notice of all your court hearings and you don't miss court.
Yes, ma'am.
All right? Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Ronnie Powell, ma'am.
Pardon me?
Ronnie Powell.
Okay. And what about Ms. Dakotas?
She's mental health. And Rosa Mendoza also bonded. Kevin Mitchell is mental health.
Okay, Ms. Dakotas will reset. Ms. Mendoza. bond.
Mitchell bonded?
Mendoza bond. Mitchell is mental health. I'm sorry, he refused.
Mr. Mitchell refused?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll reset Mr. Mitchell. Otis is mental health. Mr. Powell?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, this is case number 19MM3401. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. Did you want an attorney to assist you with your case this morning, sir? I mean, this afternoon?
No, I didn't. I went ahead and said I could go ahead and proceed.
Ms.
No,
Bush,
look.
is there an offer for Mr. Powell?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, 5 days, Orange County Jail, 1 day, credit time served.
Okay. Mr. Powell, did you want to accept that offer?
That sounds like a good offer, man. I'm not from down here really, and they impounded my car,
Okay.
and they talking about charging me $150 a day for that, and I really don't have people down here to really do it, and I use my vehicle to work, and that's gonna really back me up if I have like 5 days. I mean, I'm not gonna really have it to be able to go there because they're gonna keep tacking it on. I mean, I was in possession. I mean, I take fault for that, but it's like it's gonna be a hardship for me.
I understand. Ms. Bush? You from Georgia, Mr.
Yes,
Powell?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, if I understood correctly, Mr. Powell uses his vehicle for work. Is he working here in the state of Florida?
I didn't hear him say he said
I'm
he used it
an
for
independent contractor, 1099 employee. I can go anywhere in the state
Okay.
and do work. So wherever I go, like I said, I live out my car. I move.
work. I see.
So that's how I do it.
And the issue is that they're charging you $150 a day per the impound until you get out to come get it,
Right,
right?
right.
That's $1,000.
Your Honor, the state will make it a credit time served offer, adjudication credit time served.
Thank you, Ms. Bush. All right, I need you to sign the plea form, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, man. Oh, man, my eyes are burning, man. I can't really see. What do you got? That's it?
Hold on, slow down.
All right, Mr. Powell, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up on the form?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
Sir, I'm going to accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served. You're going to need to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by April 23rd of 2020. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. If you don't pay those court costs, I would pay them as quickly as you can. Your license will be suspended here in the state of Florida.
What date is that?
You have a whole year, April 30th of 2020. Today's
Oh.
April 23rd of 2019.
Okay.
Okay?
All
You
right.
need to, but make sure you pay them or otherwise you're not gonna have a license, and it sounds like you need that,
Right, I definitely need.
okay?
Okay.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, are you Mr. Byrd?
Yeah, praise the Lord, yeah.
Mr. Byrd, you're here in case number 19M0743. You were arrested for camping.
Yeah.
I find probable cause. Did you want a lawyer to help you with your case this afternoon?
Oh, me, not necessary.
Okay. Ms. Bush, do you have an offer for Mr. Byrd?
Yes, it's an adjudication, 3 days Orange County Jail, 1 day credit time served.
You want to accept that, Mr. Byrd?
Yeah, you say is it 1 day or 3?
It's 3 days with credit for 1 day. You got 1 day left.
Okay. So, I would, the plea, I would have, I would ask, is there any way that that sentence could be, less than a day?
Not today,
Or-
sir.
And, may I ask the reason? May I ask-
Pardon me?
I wanted to, ask the reason if I could.
Well, Mr. Byrd, you have lots of charges of the same thing.
Yeah. Redundant, yeah, it seems. But, here's the case. When the officer stopped, actually, he, it was a stop. He did explain the reason why he stopped. That it was for resting or camping on the side, but he was going to release or let me. He was actually had
Gonna let you leave?
yeah, he relinquished and was going to release me, let me go. He abruptly, for whatever reason, changed his mind. I don't know if I wasn't moving fast enough or not, quickly enough or not, but he just changed his mind abruptly, and really gave gave a reason why he did change his mind, why the
Your Honor,
quick
that-
change, and he the arrest was made, and
I understand what you're saying, Mr. Byrd.
here I am.
I do.
So, the reason why I was asking is because I had settled there. I wasn't there for long. I wasn't when he got there. I hadn't really been there that long. I was resting.
I see.
Yeah. It was just more or less just like a rest stop.
Okay.
It wasn't a violation of the city ordinance or any way, but there was not any harm presented to anybody, no damage to property or anything,
Yeah. Okay.
or to anybody or to myself. So I didn't see it was off the side of the road on the sidewalk. It's a public sidewalk.
I understand, Mr. Byrd. Did
So-
you want to plead to the bench, Mr. Byrd?
Pardon?
Did you want to enter a plea to the bench?
The plea, yes, the plea is simply this is more of a mercy or clemency plea. Is because there was no probable
I heard your
cause as
argument,
far as
Mr. Byrd. I heard your
according to the laws and the city ordinances. Yeah. According to the ordinances, the city ordinances and the laws governing it, there was no viable or probable cause for him
Mr. Byrd, I heard
So,
your
yeah.
argument. Do you want to enter a plea to
To
the
arrest.
bench?
Do you want
The
to
plea-
just go ahead and have her deal with your case instead of accepting the state's offer? That's what she wants to know.
Yeah, just for time served is what I'm asking.
I need you to sign the plea form, sir.
What did they? Yeah.
So, Bird, you should get a lawyer.
Oh, name.
And Your Honor, may I have the case number?
Yes, of course. 19M0743.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Byrd, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights you're giving up on this form?
Rights, nay.
No?
No, so,
Okay, sir. Are you on probation?
nay. No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yeah, but
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court this morning, or this afternoon?
Nay, not so.
All right, sir. I'm going to accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to 1 day in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served.
Okay.
All right? You have to pay court costs. Those have to be paid by April 30th of 2020.
Yes.
And you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you, Mr. Byrd.
Thank you. Come
on up, Mr. Foreman.
Good afternoon, sir. Are you Mr. Foreman?
I can't hear too good.
Oh. Are you Mr. Foreman?
Hello.
Sorry, I'm right here.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Nah.
Okay, good. And you're Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
Okay. This is case number 19MO744. Sir, you were arrested for camping and being in the park after dark. I do find probable cause. Did you want a lawyer to help you with your case this afternoon, sir?
I don't think so, because what was brought against me, I was up there, that's true.
Okay. Ms. Bush, is there an offer for Mr. Foreman?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication, 1 day credit time served.
Okay.
He
All right,
has
Mr.
minimal Florida history.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
You want to accept the offer, Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
Okay. Please sign the plea form.
If I can write.
Thank you. Mr. Foreman, did you read the plea form before you signed it? Is that yes?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
Well, you have to give it right sometime. You can't be honest with them all. That's just the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Okay, sir. Are you on probation?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea would subject you to deportation?
I am a United States citizen.
All right. Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to
I'm
understand?
under doctor's care. I got a pacemaker right here, bad heart.
Okay. All right. But do you feel like you understand everything that's going on in court this afternoon?
Yes, I do.
All right, sir. I'm going to accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served.
Thank you.
You're going to need to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by April 30th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Downtown,
Yes, sir. Downtown at the big courthouse on Orange Avenue is where you can pay the court costs.
second floor, thank you.
All right, sir. Have a nice day.
Yes. Thank you.
Sir, good afternoon. Are you Mr. Jackson?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is case number 19MO745. You were arrested for camping. I do find probable cause. Did you want an attorney to help you with your case this afternoon?
No, ma'am, I don't think I.
Okay. Ms. Bush, is there an offer for Mr. Jackson?
Yes, Your Honor. And this is taking into consideration that he's out on bond in 2018 MM 1808. The state's offer is an adjudication of guilt, 3 days, 1 day credit time served.
Okay. Did you want to accept that offer, Mr. Jackson? Okay.
Yeah.
I just need you to sign the plea form.
You said to ask her about what? Oh, because I didn't want a lawyer. Okay, I get it, I get it. I get it. I saved myself $400 right there. $250. $250? Hold on, wait.
Thank you.
They didn't. I've been here since midnight and I still haven't received the bed. We haven't received the bed. I was here since midnight last night and they didn't give me a bed. They made about 15 of us. It was about 15
Ms. Bush,
of
would
us.
it be possible to resolve his out on bond case? I saw information has been filed. It's a possession of drug paraphernalia.
It could be, it would not be resolved with this offer.
Correct. Would you be interested in hearing an offer to resolve your other case, sir, while you're here today?
Sure, I'll hear it.
The global offer, well, the offer on the other matter would be an adjudication, 7 days. And I don't know how many days credit time served he has on that.
I was gonna fight that one because it was on the ground over there with a bunch of people beside us. If we wanna go for 3 days for that, I'll go for that.
That's what Mr. Jackson, if you want to fight that case, you should. You can just resolve your camping charge today. Sounds like you're not interested.
All right.
I just need your plea form. Did I get it? Oh, here it is. Okay. Mr. Jackson, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions about any of the rights you're giving up on the form?
No.
Okay. Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
I'm a U.S. citizen, ma'am.
Okay. Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, I'll accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty. Sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served. You'll also have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by April 30th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Now, before I leave, just out of curiosity, would I still be out on bond or?
Correct. I'm not going to revoke your ROR in 19 MM 1808.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good luck. Thank you, Ms. Bush, for trying to resolve that. Good afternoon, are you Mr. Johnson?
Hello, Your Honor.
Sir, this is case number 19MO746. You were arrested for open container, littering,
And resist without violence.
and resisting officer without violence. I find probable cause for all of the offenses. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Was there an offer for Mr. Johnson?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication, 5 days, 1 day credit time served.
Okay. Would you like to accept that offer, Mr. Johnson?
Accepted.
Okay. Just sign the plea form, please.
Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, may I have that case number?
Sure. 19MO746.
Could be.
Thank you.
Not yet. Well, come on, bro. Break me in. I'm sorry about that. The best country in the world, Your Honor.
Mr. Johnson, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No.
Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea would subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Okay. Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court this afternoon?
No.
All right, I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served. You'll need to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by April 30th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing, sir. Okay, thank you.
And he was out on bond, Your Honor?
Yes, and I'm not gonna take any action in 19 CF 5467. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Adam Murray.
Mr. Murray, this is case number 19MO747. You were arrested for being in the park after dark and for camping. I find probable cause. Did you want a lawyer to help you with your case this afternoon, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Bush, is there an offer for Mr. Murray?
Yes, it's an adjudication, 1 day, 1 day credit time served. And no return to Checker Park.
Okay.
Could you repeat that again? You said never return to Checker Park?
No return.
No return to Checker Park?
Correct.
I'm originally from New York. If you don't mind me speaking, is it okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm originally from New York. I'm not familiar with Checker Park. I was underneath a bridge, somewhere on Paramore.
Yes, you were. You were under the bridge
Uh-huh.
at the 408 in Paramore.
Yes.
So maybe easier way to think
what
about
they do
it.
is they feed the homeless consistently under the bridge.
Okay,
Over there in Paramore, I don't know if you're familiar with that area.
I am.
They feed the homeless. The church even yesterday came and brought a bunch of food out for people.
Okay.
I get income on Social Security, but I don't have any income.
Okay.
I don't have a place to stay right now, so I decided to sleep right there. I have no felonies, no problems. I slept right there. And what was I gonna say?
I understand what you're trying to say, Mr. Murray, so here's what I'm gonna do, okay? You just can't sleep under that bridge right there.
Yeah.
Okay?
I don't have
If you go
anywhere
there
else
to
to sleep
eat and get
until
your
I get
food, that's
paid.
fine, but you just can't sleep under that bridge.
Yeah.
You understand?
I mean, the officer said that they were going around. He said the supervisor was going around, just telling people that they had somebody cited somebody doing drugs or something like that, and it was going around cleaning, things up. But there's nowhere else to stay. You guys have a bad homeless problem. There's nowhere to stay here in Florida.
I understand, sir.
And I'm just in a bad position, just so happens. So,
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
I hear what you're saying, so
have no
that's why
choice.
I'm just saying, I'm letting you know that you just can't sleep under the bridge there at Paramore and the 408. You can go get the food from the church,
Yeah.
but you gotta find somewhere else to sleep.
Okay.
All
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Okay. Did you wanna accept the state's offer?
What was the state's offer again?
It was an adjudication of guilt and 1 day in the jail with
I
1 day
didn't
time
give you a
served.
plea.
Well, I didn't get to that part yet.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm asking you first if you want to accept the state's offer.
What was the state offer again? I'm sorry.
An adjudication of guilt, 1 day in the Orange County Jail with credit for
Okay.
1 day.
Okay. Yeah, I can step. I already
All right.
stayed, so yeah.
Did you want to enter a no contest plea?
Yes, that's what I would have answered anyway.
Okay, so go ahead and sign the plea form for me.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Murray, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar.
Okay, but you read it.
I have a lot of, let's say where I'm from, I have a lot of law officials in my family. I'm pretty familiar.
Okay, so you read it before you signed
I
it?
didn't technically read it, but I
You
know
have
what
to
is.
read it, or I can't take your plea.
Can I read it, please?
You have to read it.
Can you give me a second to read it? They just tried to give it to me in there, and I was like, I'm so familiar with it.
You can stay another night and read it.
I definitely don't want to stay in jail. No.
Okay, so why don't you take a minute and
I'm
read
going to be
it?
staying on the street anyway.
Do we have one more? Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Or we have a couple more. Sir, good afternoon. Are you Mr. Taylor?
Aye.
Yes?
Yes, good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. This is case number 19M0748. You were arrested for open container. I do find probable cause. Is there an offer for Mr. Taylor?
Yes, Your Honor, it's an adjudication, 1 day, 1 day credit time served.
All right. Mr. Taylor, did you want to accept that offer?
Yeah.
Okay. Sign the plea form for me, please. Mr. Taylor, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yeah, it tells me about the law, guilty or not guilty. I don't have to. It's
Okay.
yeah, I read it. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Do you have any questions about any of the rights on the form?
No, man.
All right. So are you on probation?
No, man.
All right. Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea would subject you to deportation?
Yeah, I realize that.
And have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court this afternoon?
No.
All right. Well, then I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served. You also have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by April 30th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You ready, Mr. Taylor? I'm sorry, Mr. Murray? You all set?
Yeah, I understand it.
Okay.
It's-
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a United States citizen that this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court this afternoon?
No.
I'll accept your plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served.
Okay.
You have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by April 30th of 2020, so you have a whole year. And you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. All right? Thank you, sir.
All right.
Good afternoon. Are you Mr. Matlock?
Yes.
Is that yes?
Yes.
Sir, this is case number 19 CF 5676. You were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia, resisting officer with violence, battery on a law enforcement officer, 2 counts. I find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Your bond on count 1 is $100. Your bond on count 2 is $150. Your bond on count 3 is $150, and your bond on count 4 is $2,500. Thank you, sir. And then, Ms. Bush, were you ready on the resets?
Yes, Your Honor, if I may have about 2 minutes.
Sure, take your time. Just let me know when you're ready. There you go. You're welcome.
some prosecutors that are old school and have been doing it for so long. It's difficult to get them to change their ways. Your Honor, the state's ready.
Okay. Um, 19 CF 3948, Nasheed Harper.
And a request for administrative transfer and misdemeanor information was provided, a clocked-in copy was provided to defense counsel. That has been filed.
Okay, that will be denied. 19 CF 4052, Rodolfo Rico.
Your Honor, the 33rd day on that one is April 25th. The state is awaiting FDLE report. And while the motion can be filed on the 30th day, the state would ask that the court readdress this matter on 4/25.
Mr. Diaz.
Just a moment,
Sure.
That's correct.
Okay, then I'll just take no action at this time, and you can have it reset
Just
for.
redo it on the 25th.
On the 25th?
Okay.
And 19 CF 4015, Sheldrick Singleton.
Your Honor, the state was unable to get an actual clocked-in confirmation. The prosecutor advised, and the state saw evidence of an information having been generated. Prosecutor Sarah Hatch said that the information was filed yesterday, April 22nd. I have provided defense counsel with a signed copy of the information, a copy of the signed information, which does have the jurat of April 22nd, along with an email thread that started from this morning and throughout the break, where this state has been trying to see if they could get a clocked-in copy from the clerk. The issue is they manually filed the information, and they don't have a clocked-in copy, did not get a clocked-in copy. And what I have is a good faith belief that this is the information, and the jurat says that it was April 22nd, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Diaz, did you want to be heard?
I do, Your Honor. I appreciate the state's efforts with respect to providing the defense a copy at the email string, but the bottom line is that we have to have evidence that the information was filed. And what I have in front of me is the signed information, of which there's no doubt, but there's no evidence that the information was filed. I'd ask that this court grant our motion.
Okay. I'm going to deny the motion. I think that what's contemplated by the rule has been satisfied. I think that the information was filed on the 22nd as Ms. Bush has represented to the court. So I'm going to deny the motion.
Your Honor, if I might ask, because this is the second occasion in which we've had this problem, at least that I've been in this courtroom. What does the court believe is the state's burden here today?
Well, I'm looking at Rule 3.134, and it just says the state shall file formal charges on the defendant in custody by information or indictment, or in the case of alleged misdemeanors, by whatever documents constitute a formal charge within 30 days. And they have until the 33rd day to file it. She's represented as an officer of the court that the information has been filed. She has a signed copy that is prima facie with the juror, with prima facie evidence that it's information. I think just the fact that she doesn't have the signed copy in open court today is not enough to circumvent the rule.
Your Honor, but filed is defined in our rules.
Okay, what does it say?
We're gonna pull it up. Hold on just a moment.
I mean, I see it from your perspective, Mr. Diaz, that, that's the charging document that the state is using to bring charges against your client, and you need to be able to inform your client of what they've been charged with. But I have no reason to believe that it hasn't been filed and filed timely.
I'm sorry? The last part, the last part?
I said, it's been represented to the court that the information has been filed timely. I have no reason to think that it wouldn't have been.
Yeah, I just don't think that this is one of those instances in which it's appropriate to offer the presumption that we enjoy as officers of the court when there is a rule that establishes what constitutes a paper that is filed. And I'm looking it up now. I know it's in the Rules of Judicial Administration.
And Your Honor, I believe that Mr. Diaz is going to find that the rule surrounding the filing of an information says that an information should be sworn to and that it should be submitted to the clerk's office. There will also be, not necessarily in the rule, but the compilation of rules. The mailbox rule will come into play from days gone by. Today, the email rule will come into play, but I do not believe that anywhere in the rule will it be found that there has to be a clocked-in copy of the information. Unless defense counsel has a good faith belief that the state is not perpetrating a fraud, but the state is misleading the court that an information has been filed and that it was filed on the 22nd, then the state would ask that the court's order stand and the motion be denied.
Based upon the information that I have before me, as I previously said, I'm going to deny the motion. Mr. Diaz, I'd be happy to take a look at anything else you want to submit, and we can revisit the issue.
And it's rule, let's see, let me go up to the number. 2.516, service of pleadings and documents. You go down to sub F.
It was 2.516.
I'm sorry, filing defined. The The filing of documents with the court as required by these rules must be made by filing them with the clerk in accordance with Rule 2.525, except that the judge may permit documents to be filed with the judge, in which event the judge must note the filing date before him or her on the documents and transmit them to the clerk. The date of filing is that shown on the face of the document by the judge's notation or the clerk's timestamp, whichever is earlier. So, Your Honor, I don't doubt that the state has made an effort to file whatever it purports to file, and not just in this instance, in any instance. The problem that I have is that we should all be familiar with this rule, and we all know that we should know what filing means, and it should be rather easy at a hearing such as this to provide evidence of a filing, if anything has been filed.
So what does she show you on every other case?
I'm sorry?
What does the state provide you on every other case? Do they provide you a signed timestamped copy, clocked in copy of the information?
No, Your Honor. Our practice here is to announce the e-filing receipt, which we accept graciously because there's no reason for us to believe that you would have an e-filing receipt if something hadn't been filed. So I'm not going to say in an instance in which the state announces that, some e-filing identification number that I absolutely have to see the information filed. But in an instance in which we have nothing, and I have nothing on which I can rely other than her assurances that something has been filed, and I'm not casting any aspersions against anybody, I think the defense deserves at least some evidence, something other than something that was signed. I could easily in here any day of the week say that a particular motion had been filed that doesn't appear on the record, or that I did something that, I don't know. We've had problems before where bond motions weren't filed, and I think that's the honest thing to do is just to say it wasn't filed. If it wasn't filed, it wasn't filed. And if it is filed, that's fine. Then where's the evidence of the filing? Even in the old days when we had to walk in papers, we would have a copy of what we filed to issue service. That's just standard practice in this business. And any other civil family law, we would want something to offer proof to the people that rely on these documents that we in fact did what we said we did.
So, Ms. Bush, I guess I don't understand. Why does sometimes when you file an information, you get a filing ID number and sometimes you don't?
It depends on how it was filed. In this instance, it was walked over. And then when I asked for a clocked-in copy, because they just sent it over, they did not have that. Request for administrative transfer, a different court information, circuit to county, county to circuit. Those are walked over with the intent of getting that clocked-in copy, which are the copies that I've provided in the past. However, in this instance, just because that prosecutor happens to be an old school prosecutor, she just sent it to the clerk's office and just assumed it'll be scanned in when the clerk gets around to scanning it. Now, based on that thread of information, or that email thread, throughout the break, I've been going back and forth with that ASA and her assistant.
Yeah.
And so then the email thread will bear out. They said, we are going to try to e-portal it, which in the long run is going to cause a major problem, because now there is a hand manually filed information at the clerk's office, and they have now e-portaled an information, and I believe I got that email at 1:03 that they were going to e-portal it, and up until the time just before I came over, it was not showing in the clerk's system, and it has now populated in the clerk's system, which means it has now populated in our system the e-filed document. There are now 2 documents at the clerk's office.
Mr. Diaz, what was the rule you recited?
I'm sorry, I need to go back to it.
I thought you said 2.516, and that talks about service, not filing. So, Ms. Bush, I understand what you were just saying, but that procedure, and I don't obviously set the rules for your office, doesn't make a lot of sense to me if I was an attorney filing something and I needed to have proof that it had been filed and I walked it over there. I'm not sure why I'm leaving without a stamped copy of the information that I just came over here to file.
Your Honor, when she filed it, she did not file it. She was just going through her normal process of filing documents. She was not filing it because of this 33-day motion. She had just filed it.
I see.
And then later, she received notice of the list that's sent out later in the evening after she had already filed it. So that's the best I can offer to the court, and I'm offering it because I know the prosecutor well. She's been with the office for over 20 years, and I know she's old school. And the majority of her, with rare exceptions, when she's, in instances like this, when she is pushed to use the e-file system, she still manually files her informations.
I reread what you cited to, Mr. Diaz, and that's 2.516, and I believe it's subsection E, which is the filing defined. Again, I think that the state has met its obligation under the rule and filed. The state's represented that there is a time-stamped date of filing on the information that is filed. I don't think that there's anything in the rule that says just because you don't have the copy in court, that it somehow makes it not effective. Just a second. And therefore, it's not filed. So I'm denying the motion. If you want to send something, if you want to file a motion for reconsideration, I'll take a look at it. If you have any other authority, but I'm denying the motion. And then we have Toriano Herman.
In 2019 CF 3982 AO, an information was filed. Filing ID is 88379560. And in 2019 CF 3944 AO, an information has been filed. Filing ID is 88379523.
Okay, so there was an information filed in both cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so that'll be denied. Okay, all right. I believe that's everything.